Back with Teris Swanson of the Bryan Law Center, Paducah and Louisville, taking your personal injury questions at 1-888-208-6946. And we got Austin's take on things. And now, Teris, we get a chance to find out what you can tell us on some of these legal questions. And the first of one comes from an anonymous viewer who says, I had a car wreck last week. I think I'm okay, but really would like to go to the doctor to check it out. Will the other driver's insurance be liable for my medical bills?
Well, in Kentucky, the first $10,000 of any personal injury that you have out of a car wreck should be paid by your own car insurance through what's called P.S.C. So go ahead and go get checked out. Of course, no attorney can give you medical advice, but you do need to go get checked out, make sure everything's okay. Best case scenario, everything's fine and you go on about your business. Worst case scenario, you find something out, but then at least you know and you can be proactive about what's going on and contact an attorney to see what your rights are after that.
Lenora says a contractor was working at my house, left a tool laying on the deck where he probably shouldn't have. My child fell on it and got injured, had to take her to the hospital. Do I have any rights to bring any formal charges, or can I sue the contractor?
Sure. So that's a very, kind of like Austin said, unique situation there. It's going to depend on more facts. You can say that the contractor was negligent. You might have a case against them. It depends on, were they actively using the tool and had just set it down for a second and maybe the child shouldn't have been out there, or had they just left it there all night without, and it was dark, or how old is the child, for example? If if your child is 15, maybe they should have known better. It just depends on some of those different facts. So you definitely need to talk to an attorney about that. Your recovery is also going to depend on what type of insurance that contractor has or what type of assets they have. So definitely contact an attorney who can guide you down those paths.
Alexis wants to know something I think a lot of people may want to know, and that is, how long after getting injured do I have to bring a lawsuit against someone?
So it depends on what type of injury you have. In most car wreck situations in Kentucky, you have 2 years. Most other personal injury cases, you have 1 year. Of course, that may be different depending on the type of injury, but typically just assume that you need to contact an attorney as soon as possible, because a year can go by just like that. We get calls all the time with people who've said, well, my treatment wasn't done. I didn't even know what my diagnosis was within that year. And unfortunately, a year is a year. And so you need to contact somebody as soon as possible to make sure that you're not missing any of those key deadlines.
Patrice wants to know, will my history of drug use affect my case, even though I had an accident and I can prove that I was not under drugs at that time? How does that play into lawsuits? Sure.
So just having a history of drug use is not going to bar any claim. It may not, be held against you. It's really important to make sure that you have a good attorney who will keep those types of things out of there, especially if you were not on drugs at the time and you can prove that. That's going to be crucial, and so you want a good attorney who can keep out that bad evidence against you.
Our thanks to Austin Kennedy and Teris Swanson today from the Bryan Law Center in Paducah, answering your questions regarding personal injury. If you would like to review either one of these segments, we'll have it up shortly under the Legal Line icon online at WPSDlocal6.com. Stay with us. Mike and Kaylee have a quick wrap of midday coming up.